I'm happy to place, huh?
You're live.
Wow.
Okay, like, why haven't we started yet?
Okay. We can start with an email or two. A good chodesh. Now they don't have to be quiet. We just finished davening. One of the beautiful things about being in this building is the fact that we're able to make a minyan that finishes just in time for the 7:15 shir.
Head is like cut off.
Avi. Cut off head is also okay. Afterwards. All right, so you guys can continue getting coffees for a minute or two while I do some email stuff here. So we have here from our chaver, the Rosh Chabura in Manchester. They sit around. I'm not going to mention his name for this email, but he knows who he is. You guys know. Yeah. Leiby's father. A point to mention. Some of the chevra feel that reading the emails is really not necessary before the shir. Daf family in Manchester. All right, I hear. For that, I have an answer. Rabbi say, this is my answer. What's going on here? What? So I'll tell you real quickly on Maisa. When I moved into a new house in Chicago, I told my wife that our first guest must be a single guy. You guys know him from the Chasana. He was nifter the week after the Chasana. Here's the guy I was taking care of, and he came to our house with a huge box and 11 of these. He said that he wanted to give us a gift. It was a beautiful gift, one per room. You guys are familiar with this, right? Oh, the Shabbos lamp. Why am I? What was it going to get to the shir? Because he just said that we shouldn't say emails. So I just want to read you an email I got the other day. It's from Shmuel Veffer. Thanks, you guys are awesome. I've been in online marketing for a long time. I invented the kosher lamp and founded Kosher Innovations. Actually, I also uploaded the very first page of H.com in 1994. Now he markets olive oil from Israel. You're allowing listeners to have a relationship with you via social media, which is the secret to building your following. Sharing the emails from participants and having them live chat on YouTube, live broadcasts are great ways to build a community. If you want to discuss other ways to build a group, share, I'm available to help. Shmuel from his Galil. All right, Shmuel.
That answers it.
Another, it's another way to look at it.
Yeah, that's the answer. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Official grows from Greece.
Agrees.
Oh, agrees. He's not in Greece, but agrees. We saw that. We said the email. We showed that. They're doing it properly. Official catering. So I got a few of these emails in the last few days. Hello, can you tell me what building dedications are still available? Alan Gruen, not related to Ari Gruen. I asked Ari. What we have available right now, actually somebody came over to me and asked me if the Aron Kodesh is still available. I told him that somebody already, Avi Kamiansky, donated the Aron Kodesh. But he could speak to Avi. I'll tell Avi to go speak to him. The Aron Kodesh is probably not available unless Avi wants to give it up. What's available is the name of the room. The actual building was dedicated. The name of the Beis Medrash is not dedicated. That's about $75,000. If somebody wants to do it over a few years, it's okay. The coffee machines, $10,000. We're going to have 4 of them, the whole coffee situation. The bathrooms, $15,000. The windows, $25,000. And this is mamish cost. Rabbi said we're not trying to make money here. So those are some of the things that are available. And now, windows, I just said $25,000 if you want. We could do one window at a time. Oh, the TV screens. Somebody just donated last night a TV screen. Screens. Oh yeah, not TV. Chas v'shalom, not TV. Today's Daf Chov Daled Omid Aleph, and we're holding Daf Chov Gimel and Beis on the bottom. All right. Boy, Minei Rav Yosef Bereidav Nechunya, Mirav Yehuda. Ma'u sheyaniach odom tfilav tachas mirash shoisov. Now, by the way, Stam Derech Agav, there's a limit to what I'm asking to do for money. The Kamiansky family from Los Angeles asked me if I could dedicate today's shir Lili Nishmas Kobe, and I said absolutely not. What? He's nifter, he's never nifter. Boy, b'nei Rav Yosef Bereidav Nechunya. Some people don't even know. You see, we live in a makam. What's Kobe? Did he die? Beautiful. We live in Eretz Yisrael. They have no idea. Boy, b'nei Rav Yosef Bereidav Nechunya Rav Yehuda. Ma'u sheyaniach odom tfilov tachas mirash shoisov. Here's Kobe. I did. Fine, Beseder. You got it. Here. Pass it around. Is it okay to put tefillin underneath your head while you're sleeping? To use it as a footrest under your feet. And we're talking about in those days, we're worried about somebody stealing it. It's not proper to put it under your feet. That's a bezayin. Tachas mirash shoisav mai. Under your head, you could use it as a pillow. Or malei hochi amar Shmuel. Mutar afilu ishtoi imoy. So we need to remember the Shmuel. Shmuel holds you're allowed to put it underneath your head, even with his wife in the room, and there might be a chashash of relations. Afal pikein, it's mutar to put it underneath your head. That's Shmuel shita. Mutar afilu ishtoi. Meisvei. Lo yiniach odem tefillah tachas miragloisav. It says in the Bryce, you're not allowed to put it underneath your feet. The Bryce says, Mufurish, not like Shmuel. What Shmuel and Amir are going to do with this Bryce? It's very difficult. It says Mufurish in the Bryce, you can't. Says the Bryce that if it's higher up than your bed, 3 tfachim, or lower down, it's a different entity, mutar. You're allowed to put your tefillin there. Tiyufta the Shmuel, tiyufta. It's such a bam kasha. The Gemara says it twice. Tiyufta the Shmuel, tiyufta bam kasha. Amar Rava. Afagav the tanya tiyufta the Shmuel. Even though we see, it seems like it's a bam kasha and there's no way out of it. Hilchasik. Nevertheless, we paskin like Shmuel. Afilu ishtoi imoy. You're allowed to put the tefillin underneath your head. My taima. Now we're holding Daf Chavdal Amud Aleph. Today's Daf. Kolin and Turi Tfei Odif. Whatever it takes to protect your tefillin, even if it means ishtoi imoy, even if it means it's underneath your pillow. Now, let's figure out what type of pillow, what are we talking about? What exactly does it do? Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, bein kar lecheses, shaloi keneged roishay. So you have a large pillow, right? It's 2 feet long. You put it on the right side, you put the tefillin underneath the right side of the pillow, between your mattress and your pillow, and you put your head on the left side of the pillow. You do not put your head doesn't rest directly above your tefillin. Ben kar lekeses sheloi keneged roishay. V'ha Tani Rebbe Chia manichim ba'koiva tachas mirash shoisov. We're going to talk about you soon, actually. A person that sneezes a lot. I'm serious. So Rebbe Chia says that you put it inside a pouch, bekoiva, inside some sort of tefillin bag, tachas mirash shoisov. So it's kedai to see Tosfos here a little bit. Why can't Tosfos ask? Why can't we just answer what we said before? Tachas mirash shoisov doesn't mean directly below the head; it means to the side. Then why did the Brisa add that there's another layer here? If the tefillin are not directly, Tosfos proves, if the tefillin are not directly below his head, like we said initially in the Gemara that he put it to the right side of the pillow and his head is on the left side, then why does the Brisa stick in that he put the tefillin inside a tefillin bag? It's not important to put it inside a tefillin bag. But what I want to show you is the last part of Tosfos, and this is very important, Halacha also. Therefore, it must be, says Tosfos, that the tefillin are below his head. Says Tosfos 2 lines before the end of the first Tosfos. Nevertheless, I don't like my own pshat. L'shana d'mayri b'ishtoi imoi. The boy kli b'toich kli b'tzorach iyun. Says Taisves that if his wife is in the room, then you need what we call a kli b'toich kli. You need 2 layers. And memela, it's not understood here what the raya is that the tefillin are directly below the guy's head. Maybe he had 2 layers. Why? Because his wife is there. And if his wife is there, it could be you need 2 layers anyways, halachically, and he's not sleeping directly above the tefillin. How come the Gemara doesn't answer that the tefillin are not underneath his head? It doesn't say in the Brisa of the Mefurish that they're below his head. Anyways, you see this concept of 2 layers. It's important to remember that if tefillin are in the room, you need 2 layers. Says the Gemara, so you could explain the Brisa away that he put the bag, let's say this is my tefillin right over here, this part is under the pillow, but the actual tefillin are outside of the pillow. So this is where it is, like this. Okay. Bar kapara tsayir luhu bechilta. Bar kapara would take his tefillin and hang it on the curtain around the bed. Umapik lemurshain lebar, but the actual tefillin would be outside. Again, a concept of a kiss b'toich kiss kind of thing. You wrap it in the curtain. Rav Shisha Bereder Ravidi Manachlu Ashar Shifa. He used to put it by his stool, by his bed. Uparis Sudril Avayu, and he put another covering over it. Omer Rav Amnuna Bereder Rav Yosef Zin Lochado Avakayim Kamed Rava. Interesting story. Says Rav Amnuna that Rava told him, sent him on shlichus. V'amar li zil aisili tefillin. Go, bring my tefillin. Vashkachtinu ben karle keses shaloi keneged roishoy. He found the tefillin below the pillow, not where Rava's head was. I guess he realized from the way that it was positioned, Rava's head was next to the tefillin, not on top of the tefillin. The tefillin were below the pillow, above the mattress. V'havi yodano, says the Gemara, the yoim tefillah hava. I knew what Rava did last night. In other words, ishtoi imoi, but the concern of ishtoi imoi, because it was leil tefillah. Ulagmuron halacha lemaisahu de'avad. Rava sent me into my room, into my bedroom. He didn't need his tefillin. He wanted to teach me halacha lemaisa, because Rava passes like Shmuel, even if ishtoi imoi. Rava wanted to show that it's not just I'm saying halacha, but it's halacha lemaisa. This is how I do me myself. Get me my tefillin, you'll never forget this halacha for the rest of your life. What? Yeah. Well, telling is not enough. He wanted mamish lemaisa, that he should see with his own eyes. Boy minei Rav Yosef Bereder Rav Nechunyo Rav Yehuda. Shnayim sheyishenim b'mita achas. This is one of the most perplexing gemaras in Shas, for me at least. And Dailach Hakima b'ramiza. Shnayim sheyishenim b'mita achas. What type of people are sleeping in one bed? We'll figure it out yourself. 2 people are in a bed. Maush is a yachzer pona v'yikro kriyashma. Now, they have to say kriyashma. Now, how are they? They didn't have pajamas in those days. They're unclothed. It's not proper to say Kriya Shema when an erva is touching another erva. So memela, they have to turn away from each other, back to back. That's okay, even if they're touching each other, back to back. And this one should say Kriya Shema. And they both could say, halachically, you could say Kriya Shema. So this is another Shmuel, a different Shmuel. Shmuel says, even if the second person is his wife. In other words, the first case, it was not his wife. It was not another woman. That would certainly be also. Ishtoi. So he says, even Ishtoi. Now, what about the concern of Liboy Royas Erva, Ein of Royas Erva? So Taisus goes into that. He's outside of the blanket. But the problem is Liboy Royas Erva. So Taisus says we hold like the mandoma that is not concerned about liber roisav. This machlokes we'll see soon. Also, this mandoma. Maskelo Rav Yosef ishtoi v'loy miboya acher. So now it says that his wife is there fakert. It's not even his wife, and certainly somebody else. Adirabba ishtoi kigufoy acher lav kigufoy. Well, I don't understand. Fakert, his wife, he should have less hirur because it's kigufay. Somebody else, there's more hirur, says Rashi, than his wife. What? Noam, you're not copying what I'm saying here. Ishtoi is a woman, and she's kegufoi. Says Rashi, there'll be more of a hirur for something other than your wife, because your wife is kegufoi. I just remember learning it then. I still, from then till now, I don't understand it. Fine. Meisvei. Shnayim she'ishem b'mito achas. Two people are sleeping in one bed. Zemach zeponu b'koire, zemach zeponu b'koire. V'tanya achriti. Now there's a stira. There's another brayso that says, one brayso says you could turn around, not face each other, and say Kriya Shema. It's not a problem. V'tanya achriti. Hayoshim b'mito u'bonav u'bnei beisoi b'tzidoi. If you are in bed and your sons, your children are with you, ubnei beisoi. Now, Shiloh, what bnei beisoi means? Does it mean his wife also, or just his children? Hareze lo yikra kriya shema elam kein hoiso talis mafsekes beineim. You need a hefsek. Over here it says in the Bryce, you need a hefsek. We need to explain it. If they're small children, it's not an issue, and the Gemara goes into what small means: under 3, under 9, under 11, 12. We'll see soon. Bishlam the Rav Yosef like Kashyo. How do you explain the Bryces? Hobi ishtoi, hoba acher. Now, one Bryce that says it's mutter, it's his wife. Hoba acher means anybody else. Now, when it says bnei beisoi, we're going to have to be forced to say it doesn't include his wife. Acher, everybody else is asur, not including his wife, because his wife, the first Bryce says is mutter. El Shmuel Kashyo. According to Shmuel, there's no difference between a wife and anybody else. It says afilu ishtoi, meaning that she's less than anybody else. So how does he explain away the Bryce? Omalach Shmuel, Rav Yosef Menicha. I don't agree, says Shmuel, that Acher doesn't include his wife. It doesn't make sense. Acher means anybody else in the family. In Bnei Beisoi, right. Bnei Beisoi means even his wife. Including his wife. So now we have a stira. Ishtoi, could you read Kriya Shema or not? You need a hefsek, it says. So you have to already agree that there's some sort of machlokes tanoim, and therefore, nami tanoi. Therefore, according to me, also I'll explain away the Bryces. It's not a problem. It fits in with what I say. There's machlokes tanoim. Omamar. Zeh machzir panav v'koyre Kriya Shema v'iko agavos. So this is halacha l'maisa. What about the backside or rear side of a person? Does that have halacha of erva or not? It says mefurish that they're touching each other. Seems that there's zero erva here. Says the Gemara, no, there's no erva. It's not considered erva, and even if the agavos are touching each other, you're allowed to say Kriya Shema. Perhaps I have a right. A woman could be mafresh chala and say a bracha, and she's unclothed. How can you say a bracha? It's asur. Because her erva is in the karka and it's not visible at all. Memela, she could say a bracha. A man can't possibly sit on the ground and cover everything. Memela, he can't say a bracha. But what does it say here? That agavos are also agavos are not an issue, and agavos are not covered in the karka. Agavos go higher up. She's saying a bracha. How could she say a bracha? The answer is agavos don't bother us when it comes to a bracha. Says the Gemara, Tiri Gemara of Nachman Bar Yitzchak, it was very soft, it was very deep. She was completely in the ground. Even agavos were invisible. Memela, there's no right to Rav Yosef that agavos are not erva. Perhaps they are erva, and they were also covered. What age are the kids allowed to be in the same bed while you say Kriya Shema? Whenever it comes to Roy Labia, it's always 3 years old. Memela comes to erva, 3 years old. That's one shita. And a boy, 9 years old, for the same reason. Iged Amri, Tinoik is bas 11 shana v'yom echad, v'tinoik ben 12 shana v'yom echad. Idi v'idi, says the Gemara, at kedei shodayim nechoinu usorach tzimech, that these ages of 11 and 12, you still need Cyrus. Bekitzer, there has to be some sort of inyan of taiva, of hirur, which doesn't allow you to say Kriya Shema. Doesn't matter. There's a little bit, Rashi says, even with Ishtoi, there's a little bit of hirur.
Halacha is that the brother and sister can only sleep in the same room for 30 days, but after that they can't.
We're not even talking about brother and sister. That's a real problem. We're talking about a father and daughter.
See that there's an Indian family also. That's all.
Yeah. Omer Rav Kanal Rav Ashi, Hosam Amarava, Afagav the Tiyuf to the Shmuel, Hilchasagav say the Shmuel, before, when the Gemara had a Bam Kasha on Shmuel, if you're allowed to put your tefillin underneath your pillow, when the wife is in the same room, Shmuel said, it's mutter, and we paskin like Shmuel, even after the Tiyufta. Hachamai. What about, in this case of Kriya Shema, Ishto Imoy, do we paskin like Shmuel? Omar Lei, Atukulu Bechada Machta Machtinu. What's the connection? Over there, Rabbi said Allah is like Shmuel. What are you bringing in another case? Why would it be like Shmuel in this case? What forever the Allah is like Shmuel? Did you weave it in one weave? It's not a good catch. Itmar, where Rabbi paskin, Itmar. Just because his name is Shmuel doesn't mean Allah is like him everywhere. It's the same concept. Ishta Imoy. Over there it's Ishta Imoy by Tefillin. Over there it's Ishta Imoy by Kriya Shema. Maybe it goes together. What about here of Erva? Does that have halacha of Erva? Korale Seir. That's only here. Rabbi say this is the sugya of Erva. If anybody ever wants to know where it mentions in the Gemara singing of a woman and knees and thighs and hair and shaitos, this is the Daf Chav Daled. Korale Seir. Here is not erva. Here of the erva is not erva. Soon we're going to see here on the head. Any tefach, any skin of a woman that's typically covered, let's say on the back, whatever it is, that it's not erva, but it's covered typically, that is a erva. And we're going to see soon, but what does it mean now? It would mean that you're not allowed to say Kriya Shema in front of it. It would mean that you're not allowed to look at it. It's Isser Staklos. If we're talking about to look, in here's the pasuk. It says the Klai Yisrael were doing tshuva because they were looking. V'nakir is korban Hashem ish asher motza klei zav. So they brought all the jewelry. Etzada is an ankle bracelet. Vitzamid and a bracelet. Tabas, Ogil, not going to get it. The Chumos. Chumos is in the Mokim Erva. What is it called? The chastity belt. Okay, it's to protect. In those days, they would put it on their daughters. They would try to protect the psulim. So it's a jewelry, but it's a Mokim Mechusa. Kan Mokim Zima. Thank you. Yeah. It's an utrikin in the Torah. V'chumos is a word in the Torah. Yeah. So akopanim. So why is it brought together? If you look at an etzba ktana, what does that mean? You look. If you're looking at a small finger, which is less than a tefach, in order to enjoy, to benefit, it's not stam looking, but in order to what? Staring, gazing, that is also. It's as if you look b'mokim erva. So memela, what's the chiddush that if there's a whole tefach of a woman, that's also? Of course it's also. Elo be'ishtoi v'le Shema. We're talking about that it's also to say Kriya Shema with your own wife's gilui. If your wife is megula, not in mekom mechusim, I mean, but not in erva. Any place that is a tefach, it's also to say Kriya Shema in front of her. No, that's megula. You're allowed to say it in front of her face. Let's say the back. the back that's usually she wears a shirt, that's aser. Nothing to do with taiva or not taiva. It's a tefach that's a mechusa b'derech klal. Now, for a regular guy, is aser to look even less than a tefach if he's gazing. This has nothing to do. The sheer tefach is for kriyishma with one's wife that doesn't have a problem of hearer. It's just the issue of a tefach that's typically mechusa. That's aser. Omer Rav Chizda, shoik bi'isha erva. Oh, this is a big one. I'm sure they deal with this in all the Beis Yaakovs. What is shoik? Machlokes, a famous machlokes between the Mishnah Berurah and the Chazon Ish.
But by the burqa people, they'd have to be machbid now?
Yes. So a burqa lady who typically covers her whole face and she exposes her face at home in front of her husband, it would be also for him l'chayra to say kriyishma in front of her face. Yes. It's all dependent on what that woman covers. And then there's a whole remoisha, like what about in our days that women don't cover their hair, the goyim don't, and Ramosha says, Afal Pikain, since our women do, Memela, it's erva for us, because it goes in. I think the Aruch HaShulchan says that you could, he passes you could, because 99% of the women don't cover their hair, and maybe that applies also to a shoik. They didn't cover their hair. That's something else. They didn't cover their hair. Okay, we're not talking about the shade. I'm saying. No, I'm saying somebody a guy that his own wife does cover her hair, but he says that in where I live, all my neighbors don't cover their hair. They're all goyim, so they don't cover their hair, or whatever the reason is. Does that take away from the erva? Does that take away from the taiva, from the erva? The Aruch HaShulchan says it does. It's not considered erva in that makom. And Ramosha Feinstein or whatever the others say that it is. Okay.
Says you can.
What? Omer Rav Chizda, shoik bisha erva. Shoik typically means a thigh. The Chazon Ish says no. Shoik means from the knee below. And Memela, he has all these issues about from the knee below. I think girls from 3 years old on, they wear heavy stockings v'chulu because shoik bi'isha erva. Now it's very difficult to understand this line here. We just finished saying that etzba ktana of a isha is erva. So what is it? What's going on here? Of course, a shoik is a erva. Anything is a erva. If you look, what are you doing here? You're looking at it. You're gazing at it. Then even etzba ktana. Then even a pinky. Any part of the guf. So what are you coming on to shoik? So the tzlach and other achronim talk about it. The tzlach says that it means even if you're not gazing, it's aser. This is an erva to a high degree that you don't need to gaze. A small pinky, you could look at a small pinky if it doesn't bother you, you don't care about it. If you're looking at it for hana, that's the iser. By a shoik, you don't need to look at it for hana. It's like mekamis and mechusim. It goes up in madrega because it's shoik, it's erva. That's what the Gemara is saying here. There's other answers. Ayin sham. Shoik b'yisrael v'shenever gali shoik ivri naharos. You see that the Torah gave it a chashivos. Expose the shoik. Uchsiv tigol vosech v'gam terocher posech. Omer Shmuel kol b'isha erva. A voice of singing. We're talking about a voice that could cause hirur. Shenemar ki koilech orev umarich nove. When the Torah or the who is this? The Shir Hashirim. If Shir Hashirim talks about the kol, you see that it has chashivas. It has a geder of a erva. Otherwise, it wouldn't point it out. Omer Rav Sheshes seir b'isha erva. We're talking about. Oh, and I just want to point out that when Rashi says listakule with the iser histaklos, says Rashi it's by Eishes Ish. But everybody says, what's Eishes Ish? Eishes Ish means that this is a deraisa. A pnuya not, but a pnuya yes. Why? Because she's a nida. So Mela, anybody that has a iser, such as Eishes Ish or nida, it's the same thing. So pnuya in our days and Eishes Ish should be in the same category as what Rashi is talking about. Again, we're talking about a woman who typically covers her hair, which would mean Eishes Ish. Again, the hair is pointed out, and Memela it has a chashiv. So Reb Chanina, Ani Reisis Rebbe Shetola Tefillov. So, I have tefillin here. Rebbe hung his tefillin. What does that mean? So I'll just leave it like this. He hung his tefillin. So let's see what it means. Meisvei, hatoila tefillov, he put it on a peg. He went and he put it somewhere. Hatoila tefillov, yitola leichayov. If you hang your tefillin, your life is going to be in hanging. We're not going to know what's going to be with it. We don't know. You're going to live, you're going to die, I don't know. Those who darshan the hidden parts of the Torah, your life is going to be hanging on a thread. It's going to be hanging. It's talking about somebody that hangs their tefillin. Says the Gemara. If you go like this, I don't want to leave go, chas v'shalom, but if you go like this, you hang it like this is the problem. This is where you could have a chaim tluyim. Now, this would mean, l'chayra, and some people I seen shall do it, they hang it like this and then they put it on their head. And that's a problem. You have to hold your tefillin like this properly, like this. And then, okay, so now from now on, if you just came for that, then it's kedai. You hold your tefillin like this, not chasidim shmidim. You go like this. Don't. Because this is not derech kavod. This is not derech kavod.
That's the way.
This is not derech kavod.
That's the law. Come on,
Right,
people, this is
right. Upside down. But it's upside down. It's not proper.
Let's go. You're right. It's possible. Right.
Ayin Shom. The people that are yelling at me are the people that put on the tefillin like that, but they should do tshuva today. It's okay.
You didn't do it to us.
These are the best ritzus. They go through and through. No, this is just black. This is garnished. It's still black. But I can't afford it. There's another thing we could sponsor. 20 shekel for ritzus.
Where do you get
On it.
The same person sponsoring tchelas. I have a customer. He's over there in that area. I have a customer. He's very upset that he's not getting his tchelas. I got to talk to you after this year. Chaim holds that you're allowed to hang your tefillin upside down. It's only if you put on a peg. I hold he's wrong. It's not Rashi. Look at Mishnah Brura. You'll see over there. You're not supposed to do it. It's not covered to hang your tefillin upside down. End of story. It's you don't need to. First of all, you don't need to say it. It says it here in the Gemara, but it's a svar pshuta. Next, if you just came for this, it's kedai. For the rest of your life, you're going to do the right thing now, and I'll prove it to you. It doesn't matter how you hang it. You shouldn't hang it. He hung it in his bag. You have your tefillin bag. You know those. Here is a strap. Beautiful. Give this to me for a second. He hung it like this. Perfect. What's the chiddush? If you hang your tefillin like this on a peg, of course you could. Could you imagine hanging a sefer Torah like this? That's for sure not proper. You can't hang a sefer Torah by its bag.
If it's in a bag, you can't hang it?
No.
It's in a bag.
You ever saw a sefer Torah hanging on a peg? It's not proper. That's not proper. Svar pshuto. Yes. Says the Gemara, but tefillin. Ani Risis Rebbe, here it goes, Rabbi say, good stuff. Ani Risis Rebbe Shagiek, he burped, Upiek, he yawned, V'nis Atesh, and he sneezed, Virok, and he spit. We're going to explain each and every one of these things. Some of them are a little different than what you think. And he would use his clothing, says Rashi, to kill lice. In those days, lice were a common thing and they were very bothersome. They didn't have the devices we have today. In middle of davening, if a lice in middle Shemona Esrei, lice is biting you, instead of taking it with your hand, that we said already is usher, is a disgusting thing to do with your hand. He used his clothing and he gave it a good kvetch. But he wouldn't. This guy loves it. And now, this is halacha l'maisa, Rabbi say. Look, you'll see that the Shulchan Aruch brings it halacha l'maisa. If your talus falls off your body while you're davening Shemona Esrei, it's usher to put it back on in middle of Shemona Esrei. Usher. You're in middle of Shemona Esrei. You should be concentrating on Shemona Esrei and not on your talus. If what? Fully falls off. Right. Yeah. Okay. But most hold like you fully fall off. And this is manners. It's not just an American thing. When you yawned, he would put his hand over his mouth like this, and because it's not covered to open up your mouth like that. Why? Svara pshuta. You look at a guy picking his nose and shoulder. Does it say anywhere? No. Svara pshuta. Meisvei hamashmiya koile b'tfilasoi. Now, there's one of my best friends who's sitting in this room told me that his son learns in the yeshiva that they scream in middle Shemona Esrei. The oilam is screaming. So now we're going to go through the sugya. Are you allowed to scream? He said, you go in there, you can faint. Pasha faint. The guy's screaming, I have such a yaitzara! Shemei tefillah. Something like that. Ask him, he'll describe it to you. Hamashmiya koile b'tfilasoi. Now, let me ask you a question. Everybody knows Karl and Stalin, they scream. They put their hand like this and they scream. Is that also? It says, Hamashmiya koile b'tfilasoi. Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure that everybody's paying. B'tfilasoi is talking Shemona Esrei. No, the towels. So again, it's good. So the oilam is paying attention. Hamashmiya koile b'tfilasoi is referring to Shemona Esrei only. Harezim miktana amona, it shows he doesn't have emunah, because if he has emunah, he understands that Baruch Hu hears him whether or not he screams or not. Hamagbia koilo, even louder, he's screaming it. Harezim neviya sheker. Okay, migaik umefayik. If somebody burps or yawns, harezim migasi ruach, gross guy. Hamisatish b'tfilasoi. If somebody sneezes, simin ra'aloi. It's a terrible omen. It's a bad simin. You could see he's a disgusting person. Hold on a second. Harak b'tfilasoi, and if you spit during davening, it's like spitting right in front of a king. Now, we have to understand how all this fits in with Rebbe. I saw Rebbe doing all these 5 things. Rock, how does it fit in? It says it's terrible. Sneezing in davening is bad news. Spitting is bad. Everything is bad. Burping is terrible. You're mechur. How did Rebbe, how did he do this? If somebody burps by mistake, that's what happened with Rebbe, not the end of the world. But somebody just lets one out as like geschmack after the chont, that is a terrible mechur digga guy. What do we do with sneezing? Says the Gemara, Rebbe sneezed from his mouth. Kamilamato, we're talking about a different type of sneeze. The smelly type is asur. Domer b'zeira ha milsa ibloili bei Rav Amnuno utkila li bei kulei talmudoi. Ki kulei talmudoi. Says Rashi that this person, Reb Zeira, used to sneeze a lot. He had allergies. So he loved this. This was worth like everything in his Talmud, like all his learning. That what? He loved this saying because this saved his life. This shows that all his sneezing, all his allergy, simin yafaloi. So sneezing from your mouth is a good thing. Gives him a certain a release. It's a simin that they're going to give him that kind of nachas in olam haba. Elo. Oh, that's the pshat. A new pshat in tabak. I'm sure Moshe Ehrenfeld has that pshat somewhere. Elo roka rokashio. What? No? L'chenatol said it? No, be'emet. He says that's the pshat. He just learned it now, and that's the pshat. Elo roka rokashio. Roka roka nami loikashio. Efshak de Rav Yehuda dom Rav Yehuda. Tefillin is down leroik. A person has spit in his mouth. Mavlir b'talisoy. What do? You can't just spit it in the shul in the middle of davening. It looks terrible. So you put it into your talis. Now, b'halacha, unbelievable halacha, Rabbi Yisai. If you have spit and you need to put it into your talis, and if you don't put it in your talis, you put it into a tissue. What do? Unbelievable halacha. You have to wait dalet amas. Azay is state in Shulchan Aruch. You have to wait as long as it takes to walk dalet amas. A few seconds. Why? No, because if you go and you put it in the tissue and then you continue davening, it looks like you spit at Hashem. So you have to spit in the tissue and wait. Halacha l'maisa. We're learning halacha l'maisa here. Bim talis no mavli b'afrika susoy. And if you don't want to put it in your brand new talis, your chasen talis, so you put in something else. You put it in your Afrika susoy. Like in those days, they had a turban. You take part of it, you spit in there, but it's not lechatchila. You should really try to hold it back. Ravina have a koyach heard the Ravashi in his damaloi roik. He saw the Ravashi had spit paskil achor and he threw it behind, almost hit him in the face. Omalei lo savalo mar lo the Rabbi Yehuda. How could you do that? Rabbi Yehuda said you shouldn't spit. Mavli b'afrikisusai. Omalei anino adatoi. I can't put it in my clothing. I'm an istanis. So b'kitzur, you have all sorts of levels here. Don't do it. If you have to do it, put it in tal. You can't do that. And if you mamish can't, you spit it. Where do you spit it? You spit it to your back. If you can't spit in the back because there's a bunch of people in the back, you spit it to the side. And if you can't spit it to your side, then you spit it to your front. But that's mamish b'les breira. Mishmei koyel b'tfilo hareizim miktane amono. Now, if you say your Shmoneh Esrei out loud, you have a chesar and emuna. Amar Avuna, lo shanu. This is not a stira to that yeshiva. Lo shanu el sheyochel lechaven and sliba b'lachash. If a person, that's how he can be mechaven. Aval yochel lechaven and sliba b'lachash. If he has no other option, he has to say it aloud. Mutter, then you're allowed to. And if this helps the bacharim, then it's okay. But we have another problem. This is also common sense. You don't need a gemara, but here it says mefurish. So here we have a concept. Don't be loud and disturb your neighbors. But if everybody's doing it, and that's the meaning of the whole yeshiva, yesh lahata l'chayra. Agopanim, I like to be oimid on this, nachamo, with my trauma that I had in a certain place. Don't say Shema out loud when everybody else is down in Shmoneh Esrei. It's matrid tzibur. It says mefurish in the Gemara and mefurish in Halacha. Rabbi Abba go mishtabed minei the Rabbi Yehuda. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Abba was trying to avoid his Rabbi Yehuda. Why? He wanted to make aliyah. Rabbi Yehuda holds, like everybody in America today, that it's usher to make aliyah. Why is it usher to make aliyah? Shenemar bovelo yuvo v'shama yu ad yom pogdi oisim num Hashem. Hashem is going to take us out of America, not us. We have no right to make aliyah. Of course, Rabbi Abba was mechulag on him and said that's talking about Kalim, whatever. Let me go here, one last piece of shtickle Torah from him. So he went there and he found the Tana, the Kotoni Kamed Rav Yehuda, and he said this following halacha. And this is la halacha. A person passed the wind in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei. He has to wait until the smell goes away, and he goes back to daven. Ikadamri, also la halacha. Believe this or not. This is unbelievable halacha. It happens occasionally. He can't control himself. It has to come out. Now what does he do? He's a middle of Shmoneh Esrei. Halacha l'maisa. Marchik la'chorov arba amois u'misatish. He must walk behind himself 8 feet. You pick yourself up in middle of Shmoneh Esrei. In middle of Shmoneh Esrei, you walk out. Says the Shulchan Aruch, this is what you do, halacha l'maisa. Says the Ramah, not true, because it's very embarrassing. If a guy starts walking in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei, it's mamish busha. So b'yichidus, you must do this. So if you're in your house and you have the urge, and uncontrollable urge, walk away, daled ams, halacha l'maisa. And what do you say? V'oimer, in a shul, then you pretend it's your neighbor. V'oimer, Rebbeinu Shalom, yitzartanu, nikavim, chalulim, so listen to this. This is also a tremendous chiddush. You're in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei, you stop and you say Asher Yotzar, a sort of kind of Asher Yotzar, in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei. How could you talk in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei? Yes, because you did what you just did, now you have to pay for it. You have to ask Mechila. And you say, Nikavim, chalulim, look how embarrassing we are. We're a shtik busha. B'chayenu when we're alive. Ubachriseinu, and what's going to happen after we die? Rima, maggots, v'trileya, and worms are going to eat us. And then he continues from there. Amalei, ilule, basi, elishmaya, dovazeh. This is the best halacha I ever heard. Yes. Rabbi say the bathroom is, yeah. If a person was in a sleeping bag, and it's freezing cold, and he can't even take his head out. When I was a young kid, my father convinced me to sleep in the sukkah with him in sleeping bags. It was below zero in New York, and we slept the whole night, and it gets so hot in that sleeping bag, eventually you take your head out. You take your head out. But in the beginning, your head is inside. Now, what do you do about Kriya Shema? Now, he's not wearing clothes. I was wearing 6 pairs of those long johns, whatever they're called, plus a sleeping bag. But this guy wasn't. He, in those days, they didn't have the clothing we have. All he has is a talis, and now we have a problem. How does he say Kriya Shema? The problem is that his head is with his erva. Says the Gemara, he makes some sort of mechitza with some talis. He goes like this, he puts it over here, and he makes a division between his head and his erva. Yeshoyrim aliboy. He should make the division lower down between his heart and his erva. V'tanakama harei liberoy erva. Well, at the end of the day, why is the neck enough? His heart sees his erva because over liberoy erva mutar. He's not concerned with that. Omer Rabban Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Hoya mahalech b'mevois. We have 2 minutes. What? If somebody is walking in a place that has a lot of soy on the ground, what does he do? He puts his hand on his mouth and he continues saying Kriya Shema Amalei Rav Chizda Halikim. I can't believe it. If I heard this directly from Rabbi Yochanan, I wouldn't even listen to him. Same exact thing. We're holding in the middle of the very, very wide lines, like in the middle. I can't listen to such halacha. It doesn't make any sense. So we're going to see this in machlokes. That you could put your hand on your mouth while you're walking in a toilet, in a sewer. We were walking home from shul the other day and the sewer was pouring out in the middle of the street, right in front of your building. Could you talk and learning? Could you not? Could you just go like this, put your hand and continue talking and learning? He's not allowed to stand there. Tamid Chacham is always going to think and learning, and it's also for him to think and learning while he's in Mokim Tinoifis. Kodesh tells me that you're not allowed to have a place that's there, but if you're walking through it, you're allowed to talk and learning if you put your hand on your mouth. This isn't the Furish. You're not allowed to think in Torah in a Beis HaKisei. Over here, you're like in a Beis HaKisei. There's soy everywhere. Maybe we'll make the distinction that he's walking and that's mutter. He was once walking behind Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Avo was saying Kriya Shema. He was quiet. After Rabbi Avo stopped saying Kriya Shema because he's walking through Mevois at the Midah, he asked Rabbi Yochanan, what's the halacha? Where should I say from? Now what should Rabbi Yochanan tell him? Rabbi Yochanan should tell him, why did you stop saying Kriya Shema? Put your hand on your mouth and keep on going. But he didn't tell him that. So you see that Rabbi Yochanan holds like him that you have to stop. This is the halacha we had the other day on Shemon Esrei. If you make a hefsek in the middle of Kriya Shema, the length that it takes you to say the whole Kriya Shema, then you have to repeat the whole Kriya Shema. And we have the same kind of halacha by a shofar, but not really. We have to know why by shofar it's different. I actually hold that you shouldn't stop, you continue saying Torah. But I noticed that you didn't. You stopped saying it, so you have to continue from wherever you stopped, or if you stopped so long that you could repeat Shema, start from over there, stay the whole Shema again. Have a wonderful Chodesh, Shagud Chodesh.